December 2024 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. in aid for Gwendolyn Joseph Gums, who requires a prosthetic leg. This is a family fun day. Bring out your family, your friends, everyone to have a grand time. There will be a bun eating competition, tag of war competition, best t-shirt design competition, lucky dip, children playground by K&E party time. There will also be live entertainment by the General, Lyrica Reds, Juki Dan, Dior, Hell's Gate Steel Orchestra, Point Iron Band, and much more. This event will be streamed live by Parish League. Tickets $25, and the tickets can be used to purchase food and drinks. There are spots available for vendors. Registration is $200. See you there. Thank you in advance.
Happy Saturday. Welcome to Sports in Mandela. As usual, we start with a quote. Kindness is not an act, it's a reflection of your soul. Morning, Taddy, what's up?
Well, man, as usual, not too bad, but you know the old thing. You just heard it a while ago, right?
Yeah.
A funeral week, we had three of them this week, three funerals this week, and hey, and surprisingly, our good friend that came on the show earlier this year, Roy, he died this week.
Oh.
And the same day, my good friend in Hamilton died, Joe.
Yeah.
so it just is recurring thing.
That's
just like you heard General say a while ago, you've had funeral today. Well, but part of life, what you say?
That's so true.
You know what I mean? So, hey, like I said to my friends all the time, if you live long enough and you make good friends and connections, you find yourself in that position if you live long enough. And I see we have one of our old combine school guys here today.
Yep.
And the show, man, you know what I mean? Not only cricket man, football man too, he actually got a football scholarship. You know what I mean? But people don't remember he played cricket. And he was pretty competent, man, very good fielder. And he was pretty good goalkeeper too,
Yeah, I know the football exploit. I didn't know about the cricket exploit.
Yeah, man. The man played combine school, supposed to be a good batsman. But he bat kind of had like a jolt in there.
Well, let's see. And I see him there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see him now. Well, let's once say good morning to Mr. Angeline Camacho. How you, sir?
I see Taddy making jokes already.
So tell me something. Which one you love more, football or the cricket?
Well, I used to love cricket more than football, believe it or not. And for me, I thought I was a better cricketer at the time. But the opportunity comes for me in football. To get a scholarship and move on, and I took it. It was a privilege and honor to have Taddy as my coach and to play with him for a little bit, and with some great players who went on, some of them to play for West Indies. I was up in Bathridge Zorro, believe it or not, for a while there, and Gunner, Hayden Walsh, Parish was around at the time, and so I played with some of the good guys at the time, So, but I love football just as much. Now it got me to where I'm on. It was a vehicle for me to make a better life for myself because I'm from Point, I'm the real point man, not gas can. Yeah.
So tell me something. Where you all started? What school you used to attend?
Well, I started it in Point, to tell you the truth, at Bethel Playground. That's where we used to play our cricket and our football every day, pretty much. But then on Saturday and Sunday, there were no stopping us. You have a bunch of guys just waiting. And then down Judge Bay, as I get older and move up with older guys. I went to Villa School for a little bit. I was supposed to go to St. Joseph Academy, but my mom denied that and move on. I move on to Mission School, Pilgrim High School. I went to the same school like Evie Richardson, Batau, and some of those guys that come to that same school, and even Gary. One of the things, my mom raised 5 of us by herself. My father died when I was about 7, and I have 2 younger siblings and 2 older siblings. I was in the middle. And we come from prominent family, so to speak, the Camachos. And now I'll tell you a story to go way back, just to share the struggle that
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and so after my dad passed, it was just my mom, and she had 2 brothers that she had with him, and a lot of the uptown Camacho, so to speak, kind of neglect my father because he started dating my mother. Back then they always think that certain people is not good enough for certain people. But after my dad died, some of them come around and they said, okay, we'll take care of the children. We want to send them to this school and this school. And my mom was so strong. She says, no, we choose the school. If you're going to help, you're going to help. If we choose the school that they want to go. And they wanted to send us to St. Joseph Academy, and my mom denied that, and we went to mission school. So that's how I come to the ranks.
So tell me something, you actually played in Anglican's churchyard in Point? Play cricket there?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we used to play on the hand cricket right there. Right there in Bethel, right in the Bethel church there. We played it in there, and we see that that church actually deteriorate, break down into nothing, and so on. So when it was actually there, that was our playground. I mean, I lived just up the couple of blocks, like in the alley. You go up to the alley, you run into my house. So when I say I am from Point, I'm truly from Point, Booby Alley.
Booby Alley, man. I was just about to tell you, so up the road from there is Booby Alley.
I lived the good, the bad, and the ugly, but the funny thing about Booby Alley, it was a happy childhood for me. Everybody was so connected. They will fight today and tomorrow they're friends. You can go crossing by, you used to see people come across to my mom's house and say, hey, can we, borrow some sugar? You're not going to get it back, but that's the word they use. My mom will go across the catwalk, the alley, and say, hey, I'm short of some rice. Can I get some rice? So, but that's how it was. And when my mom cooked, the kids around there that couldn't, where the parents were not so parenty. Some of them was, drinking a lot of alcohol, and so my mom looked after them, and take care of them. I come home from football practice. I'll tell you this, Joe. We had 2 kids. Not going to mention the name, but the young lady who's a grown woman always see me in the street and said, Angela, you used to bang me no hell because I eat your food. And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, when you come from football practice from Judge Bay, your mom used to have your plate of food ready for you. But when we go by her house and she said, are you hungry? She will give them my food. And when I come home, me hungry now, especially when my mom cook for drink.
Yeah.
So we start finding them, we start banging them, and my mom said, Tony, come man, me tell you the brownie to buy some bread. So those are the kind of experience and childhood that I had.
So tell me something, in terms of your sporting talent, it was part of the Pilgrim High School? That's where you think you got noticed?
Well, the funny thing, I never played goalie. I'm a goalkeeper, but I never played goalkeeper in high school. I play forward, and I wish Antigua kept record, but I scored 14 goals in one game.
Okay.
Against Cedar.
In one game?
In one game. We had to score 19 goals to win the championship because PM and Pilgrim High School were tied with points, but we had to score a certain amount of goals to get the championship because they were leading so far ahead. And I scored 14 goals in one game. I think we beat them 18 or whatever, but we were short of one goal from winning the championship.
Wow.
And then from there, from East Bus Station, I left and go over to ARG, where West Ham was playing Villa. Because I started playing for West Ham at a younger age, accidentally, and I can tell you that story too. But my talent was spotted down by Judge Bay, where all the big boys was having me in the back of the goal chasing the ball because there was no room for me. There were so many people down there playing, and I ended up on the West Ham junior team where we were playing out at Golden Grove in second division football. And I'll tell you the story how that started. Meadow came over from Villa to join West Ham because he didn't think he was getting the kind of playing time that he needed over there, or whatever the case may be. They came over and joined, and there was a guy, Glenn Asker was the goalkeeper for West Ham at the time.
Yep.
And he went off to university in the States, and they wanted a goalkeeper. And everybody said, look at Angeline. They said, oh, Angeline's too young, man. He's 14 or 15 or whatever the case may be. He can't go in the goal. He's too short. Let him play for the second division. Anyway, Meadow came over. Meadow took the spot. As fate would have it, Meadow and his brother and them used to ride motorcycle. Meadow had this big accident on the motorcycle and burned up his legs really bad. So he was out of commission. So they had nobody to turn to but me. And that's how I get my opportunity. I went to Meadow because Meadow used to still come around even though he was injured. I said, man, when you come back, you're going to have to play a different position. And that's how Meadow become a forward, because I never relinquished that opportunity again for him to play goal. So that's how it started. My first game was against Rangers. They used to practice up by Radio Ranger.
Yep.
And a lot of my little buddies, man, they give me such a hard time before that game because they used to have this guy named, they call him Champ.
Yep.
Yes, Champ.
Yep.
Champ used to have thighs as big as my waist.
Yeah, that's good. Yes.
Yep.
And then man grind me and said, boy, Champ gonna kill you. He gonna knock you down. And we went up there, we beat Rangers 1-0, and the rest was history.
So tell me something, man. So did you play with the Birdsfield for West Ham?
I didn't play with Birdsfield. They were before my time. Birdsfield and my uncle and them played together. I don't know if you know my uncle. His name is Mowley.
Yeah.
He's playing Hesgate. That's my uncle. That's my mother, brother.
Okay.
And Conrad Uchumin.
Yep.
They were before my time.
I know Conrad too, man.
Yeah, I started playing after them with the likes of this guy named Vernon Richard. He talked Milwaukee. There's a guy named Countryman. I was the little guy in the net with all these big men in front of me, right? So those are the guys that I play with. Jerome Underwood, which is Meadow came back and become a forward. And he actually become a decent forward. He scored a lot of goals for West Ham.
And in terms of the transition from West Ham to Villa, how that do? Villa bought you out?
Me never played for Villa. I'll tell you how Villa connection happened. Right? Luton them has set up because Guff Gums. I don't know if you know Guff.
Guff has been on the show, man. Matter of fact, he lives in Canada now.
Yeah, he lives in Toronto.
Yeah.
So he came to Antigua and they were doing some recruiting, and Villa was just starting the academy, and so I'm one of the true guys who can say, hey, I went to a tryout and I earned my spot to get a scholarship. There was about 30 or 35 players who came down to Villa Park, and Guff Gums was running a session for there too, and he wanted some people to recruit. And anyway, it was me and John Quinn. John Quinn was come to Villa ranks, and he selected me as a goalie. So, and this was 1983, and we tell them, well, we still in school, and the money that they're offering, my parents can't afford that to pay the balance. So they I didn't go in '83, and John Quinn didn't go either. I don't think John Quinn was there for the '83 one. But in '84, the coach from the university keep asking about me through Luther and them. And anyway, we asked them how much money they were going to get because I had just started to play with Taddy for combined school cricket, and I was going. My thing was, hey, sport was my only way for me to move on or take some GCE subject back then and maybe find a job as I'm finishing school. Those was my thoughts, right? And anyway, they came back in '84 and make a little bit different offer. I still was short of some money, and Luther and this guy named Alistair Thomas.
Yeah.
You know Alistair, and you know, I was getting ready to leave, and they want us to come up in May to start doing some work to contribute to tuition. And I was short of, I think it was $2,200 for a ticket. That's what my ticket money I wanted. I had raised enough money to pay the balance to start school. Anyway, Alistair, out of nowhere, I have no idea where he get the 10-speed bicycle, but he run around like crazy man, and he get the 10-speed, he put a raffle on, and he had some sort of bingo at Upper Lions, I believe. And within 48 hours, the man raised the money. And that's how I took off in 1984. Me and John Quinn went to Oklahoma.
Okay.
So that's my rank. So from there, Luther was like a counselor to me. He like he with everybody. He give them advice and whatnot. And I have grown to appreciate and love the kind of counseling and suggestion that he provided him and his wife at the time. So when I come back, I used to hang around by a little shop over there, and his wife will tell you, I used to buy off all her apples that she was selling in there because I have this thing for apples. And she said, what? And she said, you're buying off my apples. Anyway, that's how I started playing for Villa, not in the lead, but there was a community league that they were playing down at Grace Farm. He asked me to play a couple games. And then Villa, when I came back home, Villa was going to Sinkit, and I traveled with them to play with them in Sinkit for a game. So I never really
Play for Villa.
Not a product like, say, a Gary or those guys. I play a few games for Villa, not in no official Premier League or Antigua and Barbuda Football Association, any organized league.
But in terms of college, though, what was experience like for you in college, knowing that your background and stuff like that going up there, what it was like?
Well, it was a culture shock for me. I mean, I've been to a lot of different islands, traveling with the national team for Antigua, because I remember I get called up early, after my first year with Western, I get called up to be with the national team. And I actually, to tell you, was the backup for Lewis. You guys know
William.
Willie. And then I was also the backup for Joe. It's funny because it was those two guys. They pick about, I think they had 4 goalies. There was another guy named Teddy Hasted.
Yep.
He was a goalkeeper, and Danny Hewlett and Pin, they had about 30-something players in academy field that they're going to cut down to maybe 18 players or whatever. And I get selected. I think Job had to go, so I get selected to back up Willie as the 2 goalkeeper. Now, Willie was playing, and I always been his backup. I would get a little game here and there and whatnot. And then we went to, I think it's French Guiana to play. And then Joe came back because Willie says he's done with football. He's going to focus on his music and all that. Joe come back and then make Joe the number 1 goalie. So I was backup. But the point I'm making, to all that time, as a backup goalkeeper to those 2 great gentlemen, I never one complaint. But I'll tell you a story. Antigua brought me back a few years after that, and we went to Sinkit to play into the Caribbean Shell Cup tournament, qualifying or whatever it was. And I came back. I assumed my number 1 spot, and Zazawaki was my backup at the time, and he was furious that I just came back and took a spot. But when I left, I become number one. I was the number one goalie. So by right, I felt that I could have had a chance. I go up and I prove myself in practice and so on and so on. And they selected me, and he get upset. That's how his career stopped, because he asked him for his passport, and he left the team. That was the end of him. Which if I could have talked to him at the time, I could have said, "Hey man, I've served my time. I've backed up. I had patience, and they were two great goalkeepers. With me, Joe, and Willie, any one of us at the time could have filled the spot in number one spot. So to back up those guys and to learn from them was, for me, a privilege, because I'm always a seeker of knowledge. But the generation coming up after us was a little bit different. They feel that,
they're entitled.
Yes, we did. They I don't know. They feel that people owe them something, so they have the attitude, and sometimes it's to their own demise, right? So, but the experience in Oklahoma was shocking, but at the same time, I hang in there. I went up there in '84. I went up there for May 30th, I believe. So we stayed there June and July and August, 3 months, just working on campus, just to offset our costs. And it was John Quinn and myself at the time. In the fall, Ickford Roberts came up and joined us. So we were the three Antiguans there. At the time, Bata was just leaving, so I had a little time to spend with Bata in the spring just before he left, because I think he left in June because he was waiting to complete a couple of courses to meet the requirement for graduation. And he graduated in May. He took another course that he was short on, and then he came home. So I had about maybe a month with him, and then he left. And then so we started our career there in '84. And to make a long story short, 4 years I played there. All the Antiguans that have gone to, I am the only one that was 4-time All-American. The only person that make All-American first team in the first freshman year. They had a goalkeeper there who was in his third year. That's the junior year. I took his spot. He become a forward just like Meadow did. And that same year I make All-American as a freshman.
So in terms of the skill set and stuff, when you went up there, you were scared or anything? I know that, hey, I have the skill set to fit in and do well.
Man, you're scared. They nothing scared me back then. I mean, if Teddy have any recollection, Teddy put me a shot like the field, and me right up under the people, but no. And man, a hit ball and me dive like me a goalkeeper, and I run them out because they take the ball right past me. So I was never scared. I always believed my talent could lift me through any situation, and I always believe in myself. Meadow will tell you that too. When I look back, to be honest with you, some of the things that I used to do in terms of putting my body through, I can't believe I never have no major surgery. Knock on wood for that. But in regards to sports injury, so never scared. Just was full of confidence and want to show the world what I got, and that's what I do. I mean, in 2010, they inducted me into the Hall of Fame at the university, so I must have done something right there.
Good stuff. So in terms of you, when you got that first All-American, how you felt knowing that little boy come from Pine, go to Oklahoma and get this big achievement award?
Yeah, the award was, I was never one about individual award, so it was nice. A lot of my teammates and the coaches make a bigger deal about it than I did, but we lost. So what's the point? In my opinion, that's the mentality I had, because I wanted to win. I wanted to take the team as far as I can, and we failed. We came up short. We didn't make it to national. So for me, it was an award. It was something you can talk about now, but at the time, I was pretty pissed off about not moving on. Just to summarize the overall experience, in my 3 years there, I started 3 years. I'm going to say in the 4 years there, it was so unstable, because the first year we had one coach. The second year we have a different coach. The third year we had 2 different coaches. There was no stability in my 4 years, and that caused us to have a lot of problems, because emotionally, it affects all the players who have been building because they had to change the different kind of coaching tactics or strategy that another coach coming in with every year. It wasn't until my final year that we had a little bit of stability because we had one coach who was there all the time, and we went to national, and that's all we needed. We had such good team. We end up after my first year in '85. We end up with Sobey, Daryl Michael, Franklin Gordon, myself, John Quinn, Ickford, Sankey George, St. Clair George, 7 Antiguans on the same team, and we had 3 guys from Mexico, 1 guy from Venezuela, another guy from Puerto Rico. We had an international team that could have killed everybody. But for those times that we had those guys, we had like 4 different coaches. So there was no settling down and getting a foundation of the strategy that we want to go into any of these games with. That really hurt us because we had the team to actually went to national 3 times after my 4th year. We only went once.
What I'm observing, that team we called a while ago, all the Antiguans, they're like all the Villa Pintman from the team in that area. When the Frankie from Gambles,
Well,
that Oklahoma team,
right.
the names you call all the Antiguans, almost everybody from Villa Pint and Gambles, everybody in the same neighborhood.
That's what Villa Academy serves, right? To be honest with you, and I'm being frank here, there are people who went away on scholarship through the Villa Academy that didn't have the talent that other people in other community that could have given the chance. But because of the way they come up through to the ranking, to the Villa Academy, that's where they were recruiting from, right? There are players who never even play a full season for Villa that end up going to scholarship there, which, kind of hurt the program, kind of hurt, because we sending watered down players there. That wasn't good enough. But at the same time, that's what Villa Academy was about, to give everybody an opportunity, right? And, if we would open it a little bit more, we probably would have better players attending the university through the academy. But again, like you said, it's the community structure, and that's how it goes sometimes.
We're gonna take a little short break, and we'll come back right back. When I come back, I want to ask about your cricket experience. So take a break.
Oh Lord. All right.
Help me to help her walk again. Come out and support us at the Pickers Playing Field on the 29th of December 2024 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. in aid for Gwendolyn Joseph Gums, who requires a prosthetic leg. This is a family fun day. Bring out your family, your friends, everyone to have a grand time. There will be a bun eating competition, tag of war competition, best t-shirt design competition, lucky dip, children playground by K&E, party time. There will also be live entertainment by the General, Lyrica Reds, Juki Dan, Dior, Hell's Gate Steel Orchestra, Point Iron Band, and much more. This event will be streamed live by Parish League. Tickets $25, and the tickets can be used to purchase food and drinks. There are spots available for vendors. Registration is $200. See you there. Thank you in advance.
Yes, Angeline, we're back. So, tell me what the cricket experience. Well, maybe we can start from Pilgrim School and then how you get started to go to combined school.
Well, and that's a funny story too, because I started playing cricket for a long time, like I said, in Bethel and Villa School and Pilgrim. So I started playing school lead in Mission School. And why are these people calling me now? And what happened is that West Ham Point never really have a cricket team. Villa used to have a cricket team, but what is Gene Gould who spotted me? And I'll tell you the story, and I hope Taddy can remember this. But Gene Gould thought I had potential, and Gene Gould took me up to, I think it's Rising Sun ground that he was playing for at the time. He took me up there and said, "Hey man, come on, you need to start playing first class cricket." And I said, "Okay, I'm going to try it. If Gene Gould think that I have some potential, I must have some potential." I went up there, and I don't know if he and Taddy started talking, but I heard that Taddy tell him, he's in school, he combined school, he can play for. And that's how my combined school career started. It was nothing that anybody see me doing, because again, I wasn't making the runs. I was making the 40s and sometimes and 30s and 20s, but I never really break the 50 mark or anything like that. But the other things I do on the field, so people go by stats, and if you're going to check my stats from school cricket, you're not going to see any high score or anything like that. So I probably was overlooked from that regard, and it was Gene Gould who took me up to Rising Sun ground, and then I think Taddy take it from there.
So when you venture around to combined school and meet with Gordon Ferris and stuff like that, what was the experience like playing with those guys, fellas?
Well, I used to bang up Ferris in high school. If it's one bowler me can remember, and he will tell you that. He and I talk every so often, and he keep bringing that up, But yeah, me fast bowling, I really like fast bowling. I like the ball coming off the bat. I'm not one of those batsmen that don't like the pace, that hate the pace. I really love the pace. And when we play against St. John's, I remember we played St. John's up in over by Fever Farm ground there, factory ground over there, right across there.
Yeah.
And those guys had some great players, man. I mean, Evie was the open bats at the time, and there was this one guy, can't remember his name. I think he might be from Clare Hall, but man, the man come in and he was throwing some bouncer, and I was seeing the ball from his hand. So I mean, a lot of times I was never a great hooker I'm more of a front foot player. So I was ducking and just letting the ball go over my head, and I would see the ball so early sometimes. So I used to come and say, "Hey man, you're ducking so quick, man. Why don't you play a shot?" So, but the experience was great. For me, it was a challenge because again, I'm experienced in first class cricket, playing against the best on the islands, and if I believe, and people may say whatever they want, but I believe if I didn't go away for soccer, I could have been a decent cricketer.
I like your confidence. But you say you could be a decent cricketer, but in terms of runs, you don't have the runs on the board to show that? I don't know.
That was coming. I mean, a lot of players who make it wasn't a great run scorer, but that was coming. I only played for Taddy for maybe one season, one thing, and then I was off.
Okay. Now you see.
I didn't play for a number of years. I just started my first class cricket career with combined school, and then I got the scholarship. Like I said, I had to leave early and so for university. So once I did that, that was done. I mean, I came up to Canada and we were playing. I played a little bit of cricket for Forest City Cricket Club here in London, and you know, I make some good runs actually.
Wait.
So
What you call good ones? What is good ones? What is good ones?
75, 80, 60s. I mean, but again, these are guys that come from the Caribbean or India that I was playing against, you know, that probably, I would say, past their prime. They're in their 30s and stuff like that. They wasn't like the young bowlers that I, you know, face in first-class cricket in Antigua. So for me, I don't count stuff like that because we always just playing for fun, right? But yeah, we went to Detroit and there was a guy there. Oh God, I think he was from Barbados. I'm telling you, man, the fastest bowler I ever faced. I wish I could remember his name. The guy come down, you know, and he throw one at me and the ball come back at me, and when I duck it, it came off of my shoulder. So they're all appealing because the keeper catch the ball and think I was out. So the man walked right up to me and says, "You're not walking?" I said, "Well, the ball hit my shoulder." "Well, why you not rubbing?" You know. I say, it didn't really hit me that hard. It just came off. But me not let the man see me that me and Bob.
I like that.
You know,
I like that.
But fast. He was quick. He was quick. You know. So those are the players I play with. The people that didn't make it back home or in other Caribbean islands that came up here. We had a guy from St. Kitts named Clarkey. That guy could bat, man, and he played on. You know, he was open back with myself. And he was a good cricketer. You know, even there's a guy named Tushy from Liberta, from Antigua. Tushy was a good cricketer.
Hey, Tushy from Piers, man.
No, Tushy, man. His name is Ashton Francis.
He's from Piers. He's played me Rising Sun.
Okay, maybe the short guy. He came up to Canada.
Yeah.
And lived here for. And you know, I played with him on the Forest City Cricket Club. Yeah. I thought he was from Liberta. He's from Piers,
No, he's
man.
from Piers, man. Piers, man. We both play for Rising Sun.
So you had some skills then. You had some skills. Real quick.
But he was a decent cricketer. Man.
I tell you
He was a
what.
decent cricketer, and he ended up here in London, and he was one of them that was running the club. He loved cricket. He really loved cricket. Yeah, so that's my cricket thing, you know. But you know, I didn't continue with that. You know, some of the Canadian cricketers that they had in there, if I would have pursued cricket, that was my thing. But I moved to Canada. I start my own soccer club here. I do my own business. I have a business consultant firm, and I play for London City in the CPSL. So that was my thing at the time.
But in terms of national football, though, as we look to close off, though, Antigua, those any game that stand out playing for Antigua? I'm sure there's many.
There are a lot of games that stand out. When we were in the Cayman Islands, you know, the last time I played for Antigua was '95, and I want to touch on this because this is what I think killing Antigua football. You give a coach a job, and then the coach selects his players, and then you want to jump in and try to dictate who should be on the team, and that's why I wanted Mervyn on the show, because Mervyn Richard was the coach when I came back. They brought me back to play, and we were going to Cayman. And the night before we leave, this is the night before we leave, no, Mervyn didn't want to take a player because he didn't believe that the guy was fit through injuries and, you know, physically he wasn't fit. But the executive was saying, no, you got to take that player. And Mervyn refused. He stand his ground. So we went to Cayman Island without a coach. And that really hurt the emotional states of all the other players. We couldn't compete knowing that we're traveling without a coach. It was Bato who they sent down at the time to fill in, right? And so our association have to start letting the coach do their job. You know, if they have a selected community and you have a three-member community that pick players, then those are the players who should be involved. The president and the secretary and those guys shouldn't be telling the coach who to pick. Let the coach evaluate the players, select his team, and you move on. If you feel that certain players shouldn't be there, when the result comes, you can terminate the coach because you didn't feel he did a good job. That's how you operate. But our association in Antigua has been killing the game, man. The foundation is not there. They're always talking about, building the youth foundation, but you can't build a youth foundation if you don't have proper coaching. And they don't have that. We don't have a structure where we can bring in people to train our coaches to have one way of coaching. There have to be a better system, which is why I am thinking about throwing my name in the hat to run for president of Antigua Barbuda Football Association. So,
but how that one work out? Can you live in Canada?
Me live in Antigua too. we spent 4 and 5 months in Antigua, so what's the difference?
Okay. So you spend some more time in Antigua. So, and then after the 5 months, why do you're going to be president virtually? A virtual president?
No, I'm part of the executive of Fort Worth football team, and people don't know that. The contribution that I have done for West Ham and Villa and Fort Worth extraordinary, even though I'm not in the island permanently. The thing is, and you can talk to Keegan, he knows. You can talk to Gary, and I could give you all the names. You can verify what I'm saying. The amount of equipment that I sent for those 3 clubs in my community is far more than what a lot of people have done who live there, and that's pretty sad because football is a different thing in Antigua now from when I was growing up. I don't think the players love the game like we used to love the game. We used to compete and we used to play good soccer in the Nandos and the Ferrans and the Mervyn and even the Ninja era, because I played with all those guys. In the early 80s, those are the old guys I play with. In the 90s, it's the people like the Ninjas and the Joey and Parker and Demon Anthony. Those were on the team then. So I have seen a generation, 2-3 different decades of players that I have played with or be part of the national team with, and people don't know that, right? I'm not the one to self-promote. It may sound like it now, but I sit back and I see the state of our football in Antigua, and we're not improving. Battle have done some good stuff. We have a soccer center now where we can play soccer all the time, regardless of how much rain comes. That's a good thing. That's a good start, but we need to build on that. When you hear clubs, islands are going to get foreign players to come in, it's telling us something. It's telling us that we didn't develop our youth early enough, or we haven't been developing our youth program, and this is what we're lacking. You shouldn't have to go and be getting players from Cuba or Dominica or wherever they get coming from, or Jamaica, to come and fill your squad. You should have enough players, enough youth there to come up and continue sustain the kind of level of play that you can select for your national team.
I have to interrupt. I'm thinking up a little bit now, but I heard it say something a while ago, have me here laughing away. I can tell you why. I hear say that you have a good center, okay, football all year round. But we can't play matches there, international matches there, so it's no good.
It may not be good. All I said is with that. Where is the money going to continue to build on that? Expand it. Make it where we can play international sports. Why can't we play international sports there? Find out those gaps and close those gaps. Nobody is doing the work. We put it up, we put everybody's face on the wall like they're contributing. Find ways for them to contribute so we can enhance our facility, to your point, Taddy, so we can have international play there.
Because our football team now is like India and Pakistan now. India don't go to Pakistan, so no team come down, they're going to play anymore now. So, because the venue is no good, to tell me. That's what they hear on the radio.
But this is my point. Nobody want to come there to play. We don't have a proper facility to play. So what is the association doing? The money that they're getting from FIFA, where is it going? They need some transparency and some accountability to show that, hey, here's where we put in the money. Here's the development that you're seeing. Here's the improvement of our facility. Nobody is asking for those things. Everybody wants to just use it as power. It's all about I. Nobody's collectively getting people together and collaborate to benefit the overall football in Antigua. And that's the problem. For years I've seen it. Even as a player. And you have old folks there. When I say old folks who have played, like a Mervyn and the Nandos and the Dicks and the Ninjas who have great knowledge that can contribute. They don't have to have a post, but bring them together and say, hey, what do we need to do? How can we do it? And when, put something in place, man. Put a plan in place and hold the people accountable who want power, and that's not happening. And that's what I would bring. It's a better structure that shows transparency and integrity so we can continue to develop the game and promote soccer in Antigua. And it's not happening right now.
Before I ask you, let me ask. So you're training your hat in the ring?
I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I have had lots of experience. I've run Forest United Club for 10 years. I coached Fancher College for 9 years. I was the president of the London and Youth District Soccer. I played at a professional level, CPSL, the Canadian Professional Soccer League, for a number of years. And I am the president and CEO of AC Consultant. I'm also the director of operations for Shestone Brands Inc. So I'm bringing a lot of experience, both from a business standpoint and from a sporting administration standpoint.
So tell me something. If you become the president, what first 2 things you work on to improve our football?
Well, we need to analyze where the coaching is coming from, because long term, I see that we need to start bring coaches in to develop our coaches. And those Premier League coaches, down the road, we should be able to get sponsors to start having these clubs paying these coaches so they can focus on the game to develop our youth. These coaches, some of them, we blame the youth, or the youth is not being developed. But you can't develop youth if you don't have the proper instruction. And if these coaches only put in part-time work, how the consistency and the sustainability of these players are going to stay? So that will be the first thing I will look at. What's the coaching is like? How can the association help each club coaches to continue to develop so they can bring our youth at a better level? That would be my first step.
Angeline, we're going into time, but you have been so good. Earl just like me. Earl, I like to get people out of the show. I like stick to your time, But we have to get you back, Okay, you have too many things to offer. We have to get you back soon, very soon.
And your body was trying to get your body was trying to get in. Mervyn was trying to get in, but he couldn't get in. Emma.
Well, they set something up, and then because I have a lot of respect for Emma. Emma is full of knowledge, and we're not extracting those knowledge from those kind of individuals. He's been around for a long time. I must say this: Emma saved my life in St. Kitts because I was a little boy, and a riot broke out when we were there, and I had no idea where we were going to go. Some of the Antiguans get back on the bus, and I didn't get back on the bus. And all I saw is Emma taking off. And I just followed Emma. I started running because the people there were. And Emma knew where he was going. He went right back to where we were staying, and I followed that man. I never forget that day. My life flashed before my eyes. Anyway, anytime, man. I want to appreciate, to let you know. Hey,
I think it's he that's calling there. Wait 1 second. I think Emma just called in there. Emma.
Hello, good morning. Yeah.
Okay, Angeline, that's him.
That's the part.
Hi, Emma. I was just telling them the story when we were in St. Kitts and the riot broke out. And I was explaining them that I just saw you and I just followed you all the way back there. And a lot of people don't know. My life flashes before my eyes with the big riot that was happening there. And I consider you saving my life because I had no idea where I was going.
Right? Yeah. That was one mess, but it's also it was also a situation where I had selected you in front of Zazawaki Green, and he wasn't too happy about that, and he did, and he behaved in a kind of way we had to send him home, unfortunately,
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So how are you doing? How are you doing on the green? I know you're playing a lot of golf.
Well, I play a lot of golf, but I mean, Antigua football is in such a bad state that I'm considering running for president. So when they asked me to come on the show, I mentioned you. I said, well, like Emma, I've been there because I share a couple of experiences where I very disappointed in what they did when we went to Cayman too, when they wanted to select a certain player, but you didn't find him fit as the coach, and we end up going to Cayman without the coach. And you were the coach at the time. I don't know if you remember that. And we went.
Oh yeah. I understand my principle. It involved Darrell Greenaway. He was the one that I was depending on as a senior player to kind of to be the kind of conductor in that midfield. But he was making a lot of excuses of missing practices, not training. Say he got injured. That when I checked with the doctor said that they hadn't seen him over a year. So I knew he was lying. And I just couldn't select him because it would be unfair to the other players. Well, and I remember the night when we met. It was Chet, who was his general secretary, and Ralph Potter. They both telling me, how could I pick a team without Darrell? I said, because I'm the coach. Exactly. I mean, I brought the team list to them so that they could ratify it, not to make any adjustments. And so they decided to go with this the Bajan guy that I was working with, the Bajan coach.
Yeah, but he didn't even show up because we needed somebody to send Bato down. And I was explaining to Taddy, and this is the problem with our association. You give a coach a job, let him do a job, regardless of who he selected.
Exactly. Yes, that's right. We all had our different responsibilities.
Anyway, I wanted you to know that I respected you standing firm on your belief, because I too saw the kind of condition Darrell was in and didn't deserve to go in front of some other players that you selected, and our association needs just that sticking their nose out of the business of the coaching. Let the coach do his job and select his players. That's what I believe.
Right. And I mean, Darrell is a good player. And me and Ron Parish, Benjamin, who was my assistant, we sat with him the three of us, and saying, look, Darrell, we think that you can make a difference in this team, right? A fit Darrell, I believe we can go places with this team, but we need like a conductor, someone, who would lead from the front, And he agreed and so, but then he showed up to practice when we were already did the physical, and said he ran there when we know he drove in his car, and he was playing basketball when he should be, So I just couldn't just select him based on the kind of player that he was, but and it would be unfair to leave someone who has been working hard for that particular position. But I understand that when you went to it was Grand Cayman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That questions were asked about. Who was the player that was causing all the confusion? And then when they pointed to the guy who was sitting on the bench, because the coach realized, the team that Chet and Potter wanted was the team that he took, and so they didn't see the kind of player that caused all the confusion, and said that that we were wrong and they were right to include him, But that is one on the bridge. I just want to tell you, to let them know, right, that the reason why I selected you was because of the new situation, and you were one of those players, the goalkeeper, right? That now, you're seeing those kind of goalkeeper as the last line of defense. They've got to have the skill and the ability in the end, so you can be confident to pass the ball back to them, and they know exactly what to be to be done. And you had demonstrated that. That's why I picked you. That's why I selected you. That's why we selected you. Because, before, if Zazawaki was goalkeeping, somebody from the defense would have to kick the ball out. You know, that means losing one player going forward. You know, and you could have done that. You could have done that, and now you're seeing, you know, the ball is played out to the back, which you had done a long time ago.
Yeah, and that,
you know?
and people say that about me a lot. You know, I was so far ahead of the game in terms of my playing out skill. You could pass the ball back to me. I could dribble a guy if I need to.
Of course, you could. Yeah, you're confident enough to know exactly what to do. You know. Yeah. And we see it now in the modern game, and you had done that a long time ago.
Angeline,
Yeah.
we're gonna keep you. We're gonna keep you on the show, but we're gonna zoom these guys for 15 minutes and get back to you. All right? So you don't go anywhere. All right?
Yeah. These guys have a big car event going on today in St. Croix.
Car is in St. Croix today. So
Antigua versus St. Croix. So we actually can't have two guys there. Car racing. Butters.
Hey, morning.
Morning, man. What's up? You're live. And
Yeah,
Terrence.
good morning, everybody.
And Terrence, you're live. So, Butters,
Yeah,
I'll go you first, Butters. Butters, I'll go you first. Tell us what Antigua defend down St. Croix.
Well, we come down here just to give the guys a little hint of what we're doing home, and to let them know that the races from before are not the races that are here now, you know, and we're ready for anybody.
So tell me, so who had the record?
No.
Is Antigua records or St. Croix had the records? Who leading? I see Mr. Joe's laughing. Who had the record? Antigua or St. Croix?
Well, right now, last night was just Tess and Toon. But it looked like them Antigua and scared, because I ain't see one car make one.
Antigua scared?
Yeah, they're scared. So we go see today.
It look as if Terrence come to 11 o'clock last night.
Just inside, man.
Well, I mean, the thing is, last night was Test and Tune. To be honest, their track has a much better prep than what we're accustomed to. So we have to make some adjustments. We got the cars yesterday. We went to the track last night, like after 8, after 9, and tried to make adjustments with dew falling and with the track conditions that we're not accustomed to. So we had 2 cars that had damage to the transmission, which have been repaired today.
Wow.
But one was repaired last night, it's been done today. But it's basically just dialing the cars, and we didn't have enough time to do that probably last night. So you're gonna have quite a few guys will be down a bit early today. We should be starting around 3 o'clock. They said we'll be down there before that, just to get the cars dialed in, because it's just to get dialed and then you can execute. But we didn't have time to do that at all yesterday. Yesterday was a very hectic day.
Butters, my take is this: why are they getting so late? Even this big race that they have, and you know we want to beat up St. Croix. What's going on? We want to beat them up.
The organizers had a like an itinerary. So the cars left from the port, and they had an event. It was like a show and tell, basically to introduce the island to the foreign racers. And then after that, we were supposed to leave to the track. There are 9 cars here from Antigua, and moving 9 cars by trailer does take some time. So I think it's something that they kind of miscalculated. So we got there a bit later than we really wanted to, especially because it's the first time where we've been on that track.
So tell me something, Butters. You're sure this is miscalculation, because that guy there, this Terrence guy, has some kind of Antiguan connection, you know. I want to be some kind of sabotage, you know.
It's fine, you know. It's fine. I mean, Taddy, back to cricket days, you get on a pitch that you're not sure about. That's how we simple equations. So if he thought he saw something last night that put them ahead of the game, then he really wasn't looking.
But before we get Terrence jump in terms of the track though, can you start with track conditions? Say you have to bring special tires and stuff to adjust to those different conditions on the tracks?
No, we at home maybe it's cost. The amount of track bike that they use here is not what we were accustomed to at home. So it's much stickier here than at home. The distance that the track bike is laid down on the track as well, it goes much further into the quarter mile itself than for us. So we have to do some adjustment where we can actually leave. We were leaving here, you need more power to leave here because it's stickier. But at home, you need to reduce the power to leave. So it's like an opposite of what we're accustomed to. The thing is, you need to find a balance as to where you need to move to get what you want. So that's where the dialing of the vehicle comes in.
So Terence, in terms of your guys are prepped and ready to beat up Butters and the team.
Oh yeah, the guys coming out today to put on a show, man.
So
it's gonna be some good racing. Hopefully, the St. Croix cars come out and represent, defend the land, you know. But I mean, I ain't taking Antigua for granted. I know they got some good cars, so I've been following the scene for a while now. So I mean, we ready for them. We got some good cars that could match up and put on a show.
So tell me something. Is this Antigua, St. Croix, or other cars from different countries also?
Well, we have last night out there we had a car from St. Thomas and we had a car from St. John as well, neighboring islands. But it's just St. Croix, well, just the Virgin Islands for now, you know. I think in the January event, I know they was mentioning something about cars from Puerto Rico coming in. Then there's a event in February as well that cars supposed to come from America. So it's supposed to be a fun next couple months coming up with the drag racing here in St. Croix. So, but in terms of your track though, you did some work on the track recently. You compare Antigua track to your track and did some work so you can take that advantage. Well, I never raced on Antigua track, so I don't know. You know okay. What Butters saying, but I understand what he's saying though, because I mean, you know, every track has its own way of being prepped and what's not. So it's just not coming there and just running and think you're gonna run fast. You know, it takes a lot of adjustments and a lot of fine tuning to get the cars to go from A to B, you know, without any problems, without any mishaps. So it's a lot of science in the drag racing. Right. Yeah. I see Butters now. Go ahead, Butter. You were saying so. Yeah. I see like there was a lot of science. What kind of science? Tell us.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I what he said, you know, rang true for us because it's not just jumping in and going as fast as you can. You can have all the power in the world if you can't get it to the ground. You're basically wasting your time and hurting your motor. So I understand what he's saying. But Terence, we're hoping that you guys come out as well because we didn't see much cars last night, you know, and the talk was there last night and the talk was there on Thursday, but we didn't see cars to back up that talk either. We have a tendency of showing up late dancing, so we'll see tonight. Oh, okay.
But
that's why I figured they came around 11 last night, so I understand.
Butters, I think the one Butters. Them guys smart. The guys came out to watch you guys and see what kind of cars y'all have first, and that's where it is not.
I think he thought that what they saw last night was full Mountie.
Yeah.
So we knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's a buying game thing. It's a buying game.
Yeah, but the thing is, Antigua's drag racing has transcended for the last couple of years, and we've been more or less on the spotlight for a couple of years. So cars that are here, people are coming up to you and they're telling you about your car, the time that you run, the things that you do. They're telling you this because we have been put basically up front for drag racing in some of these islands. So whereas we're coming here running against cars that we've never seen, never heard about, everybody here has been seen. Everybody here's car is known. They know what we're going to do. They know the times we're running and where we run the times. One of the differences here as well is that they're doing a 1/8 of a mile, which again goes against our conventional way of racing because most of our cars would run late because of the track conditions we have. Now you need to get your car up and out because of the track conditions that are here. So it's this first round in December, it will be a feeling out process, but he's right. Come January, there's going to be a completely different ball game.
I must say, Terence, I used to watch drag racing in St. Croix in the early 70s, Terence. You know, I used to go down west to go visit my aunt and uncle in St. Croix. I used to watch drag racing. But Terence, I want to find out something for you, Terence. Yeah, I want to find out something for you. Who's the wife back in? Who Makish back in? Antigua or St. Croix?
She had to back her husband.
I got to fight for her personally. I don't want to believe that.
But tell me something, Butters. I know you're 11 seconds champion, right?
Yeah, at home, yeah.
So tell me something at home, but you think you can bring that to the fore, knowing the track stuff condition and stuff like that down there?
Well, here we're running a 1.8. So they're doing a 650, a 750, and an 850, which is 6.5, 7.5, and 8.5 to the 1.8. On average, I'm doing a 6.970 to the 1.8, which puts me basically midway between two of these classes. So it would be basically deciding where I'm going to stop to not break out, or if I'm going to try to go all out to get into the 6.5. So it's not as clear cut as at home, but we're here to race, and that's what we're going to do.
So you're pretty confident.
What are you driving, Butters? Which
black and orange on it.
The black and orange?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you asking that question?
You just might see us line up next to each other. He call out the time then. That's my time.
So you chose stuff right now.
Yeah, well, the bait already out for Gary, you know. That's the spokesman of Antigua.
Oh, so,
Yeah. Right now, the spokesman nursing some wounds.
Yeah, he wounded, man.
We hope that he gets started today.
Oh, so he's one of the guys. That's his car got that damage.
Yeah, he had some issues with his his car runs on a 16-volt battery. He does use an alternator. So if there's any issue with voltage, the car doesn't behave how it's supposed to behave.
Oh, okay.
And he had some charging issues yesterday. So they're supposed to be looking at whether they had an issue with the wiring or the battery itself has a failure.
So
hopefully that can get started out today. But that car and Loki is one of the look forward to races at this event.
So in terms of you, Jones, what cars we can look forward to that will put up a fight against Antigua?
I have a car called Humble K. That's a Honda Civic as well, turbocharged K series. He's one of the faster guys and more consistent cars. My car as well, very consistent, bring home a lot of trophies. There's a guy by the name of Ghost. He runs a Nissan all-wheel drive Skyline. Him as well, very, very fast car. We have a RX-7 second gen with a domestic engine, a LS, a V8 twin turbo. Him as well, very, very fast car as well that could, do damage. I mean, we have a couple of Hondas as well, that could do work, but them guys just gotta come out and represent. We have a issue with guys, talking and saying, yeah, we're gonna come out and then don't show up.
The afraid blow.
I ain't the afraid blow. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. So that's the race.
It's a sport. It's a sport. At the end of the day, somebody wins, somebody lose, and then you prepare and come back. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But tell me, Jones, how confident are you that you can beat up Antigua?
Oh, I taking the trophy tonight. I just letting him know from now. So 650 index, be on the lookout. I come in.
I tell you what, no, Jones. Terrence, I want to say something to you, Terrence, I want to say something to you. When you get your blood tonight, I can call Makish next week, I want to tell her Auntie can beat him up.
We'll see. Good though.
What about you? How confident are you with tonight?
Well, as I said, it's a walk in the park for us. It's just dialing in and getting the cars to where they need to be. We came here to race, and we're here for two events, December and January. So we really came here, firstly, to get our foot on the ground and feel what's going on, and then to make the necessary adjustments. So it's not that way here on a liming session or just here to be second to anybody. We're here to let them know Antigua is here.
I like that. You hear that, Jones? Antigua here to represent.
I mean, I in the group chat with all the Antiguans, so you get bang, you don't get bang.
That mean you are at a disadvantage then?
This for months now.
So that means you are at a disadvantage because you write in the group chat so you know what's going on.
Yeah, man, I didn't get them plan out already.
He on both sides of the fence. He on both sides of the fence,
See?
Daniel.
I said it earlier now. This man got his Antiguan connections. He has his Antiguan connections. They told us earlier.
Yeah.
See?
Tell them Uncle Earl, like from Atas, you know.
Yeah.
Your father's man, you mean,
well, but as unless you have no one go to and get some stuff and stuff.
Yeah.
So you can tell the audience what to expect later on. Everybody from Antigua watching you, the whole world watching you, so you can tell them what to expect from Antigua.
Well, just know that Antigua is a proud people, and we're here to defend our flag and show good representation of our island and our drag racing culture at home.
But you didn't play with Angeline cricket team. Angeline is on the zoo. You never played with him?
No. I know about him, but I've never played much with him.
Okay.
And Jones, what the St. Croix squad can expect again? You say you want to beat up Antigua.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, the crowd favorite. You know, when I come out, no nonsense. We come in to go rounds and bring home the trophy. So.
You will have a chat, you know. You will have a chat, Jones. You will have a chat. You will have a chat.
Staying on St. Croix.
But
they said on the radio station yesterday that the plane going back heavy, overweight. But the gifts for Christmas for the kids. Plane going back.
So that guy showed yesterday. I challenged we are yesterday.
Yeah. They gave me talk yesterday, but that's a part of it.
But in terms of the crowd support, now we get a good, nice crowd support for racing down there.
It's a hit and miss, honest truth. I mean, depending on the event, depending on who's here, we usually have a good crowd support when outsiders come in. Usually with the local races, it's not well supported. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe people tired of seeing the same thing, but we usually have a good turnout. So it should be good this weekend.
So all those Antigua Cushion guys coming out to support Antigua, beat you guys up.
They call out all the Antigans and St. Croix to come with a flag. You know, St. Croix full Antigans.
So be at a disadvantage.
You know how it is.
So wait. Having said that, you know, I heard you say earlier your partner's man, so we got to send a flag down there for you.
Yeah, and he could send for the car too, so I could come and coming down there and spend in the car, spend a couple months down there, you know. I feel, honest truth,
we gladly welcome you.
Antigua on a different level when it comes to racing compared to St. Croix. The guys in Antigua, I feel, race based on the love for the sport. Here in St. Croix is more of a gambling thing. Where grudge racing, guys don't show time. You know, guys very secretive. They would come and watch you run your car to see what you could do. And if you're doing good, they will back off. It's very sketchy out here. So, but I love the vibes in Antigua, man. I love that. You know?
All right. Well,
a small place could have such a big impact on people in the region, and people in the state side that want to come down and race down there as well. So,
all right. Well, Butters, your closing remarks as you go.
Yeah, well, as I said, just to let Antiguans on a whole know that we're here defending Antigua. Abdra, yeah, we have to big up the association. They've been doing a lot of work, and even the promoters on the island of Antigua, just to ensure that we have consistent events. And this is showing now what events have been reaping. We have races every other Tuesday night on the island, which is a lot of people home take it for granted, you know what I'm saying? But when you listen to speak to people outside speak, they appreciate and they would love to be able to do that even once a month. And we have that every other Tuesday.
Right.
You understand? So I must say thanks to the association, the Prime Minister and the government, they've actually invested a lot in drag racing lately, and it's shown. And we wanna let them know we appreciate it. So yeah, Antigans, just be sure that we're here. We're here to make a statement.
And
we're going to stand up. We're not going to push this side at all.
Any sponsor you want to thank? I'm sure you get some sponsors to go on to St. Croix. Anybody that sponsors you guys to come on St. Croix? Any sponsors you want to thank? Anybody you want to thank?
Well, the Caribbean Drag Racing Association made most of this possible. We must say thank you to them. They've extended open arms and they did it graciously, and we're very thankful because traveling is not cheap. Moving the cars are not cheap, and these guys have let us come here seamlessly, you know, so we really appreciate that. The Abdra Association as well, you know, getting to leave Antigua without any hassles, port issues and things like that. They've done what they needed to, so we want to say thank you very much.
And I want
my personal sponsor, LNC. So I just want to shout him out, Ren. So, but all in all, we're here to have a good time and to show that our racing at home is not just a whim, you know, it's something that we do and we enjoy doing.
Well, we know you love racing a long time because I was giving a joke today that when you're supposed to practice cricket, you're going to race.
You know blood, man. You know blood for years. You know blood. So, yeah.
Well, we just want to wish you all the best tonight and make sure beat up Mr. Jones and bring home the flag for Antigua.
Well, tomorrow is actually the real race now. Mr. Jones and quite a few others tonight. It's just basically the same thing. They're going to come through and see what's happening and try to dial their car, and Sunday's actually the race.
Oh, so Sunday's a big night.
Yeah, Sunday's the actual race.
Oh, so tonight he will come out peeping tonight.
Yeah, we will see. I mean, a lot of their cars, as I said, didn't come out. And we will see how many of them stand up after they've done a night of running. Because they were saying that, Antigua broke a couple of cars last night. That's because Antigua cars were... So we will see how they stand up today if they come out.
Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Your closing remarks, and you can show a punch at Butter if you want.
That's enough for Butters, man. I gotta let him prove himself out there tonight.
So you make all the talk will be on the track.
Yeah, that's where the talk got to finalize on the track, on the line, on the lights. Who gonna lead first and who gonna there first, you know?
Alright.
But I just want the community here in St. Croix to come out and show support, you know, to the Antiguans and come out and race and put on a show for the fans, you know. People spending a lot of money to come out and watch races, so just all in all, hope, you know, that the racers here from the island come out and support the thing.
Well, I just
want to thank the association for actually bringing Antigua here, you know. Is in the group chats you hear a lot of talking and it's finally arrived, so it's such a, you know, good thing to see, you know, cars coming in from outside. And hopefully they favor, you know, return, you know, where we could go around there and show class to the people of Antigua what we have to offer in drag racing. So
true.
Hopefully that comes sometime in 2025.
All right. Well, I just want to wish you two gentlemen all the best tonight and best the best. Make Antigua win, not the best. Make Antigua win.
Either way, if he win, I'm even till Antigua win. So yeah, all right.
All right, guys. Have a good day, man. Take care.
All right.
Have a good day, guys.
All right.
Okay, man. Thank you.
Andrew, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, yeah. That's just a bit of banter between Antigua and St. Croix. There are drag racing going on this weekend in St. Croix.
Yeah, I realize that.
Yeah, so so I decided to have option just have them talk to us, you know. But as you were saying, back to the presidency, I like that one, you know. In terms of your presidency, you want to try hat in the ring for presidency?
Well, I do. I think I bring a lot of experience, both domestically and from internationally. And I believe that I could contribute more than what is going on. I think we got to move forward, man. I mean, we had to stand still for a very, very long time. And you know, think it is surpassing us. A lot of the other Caribbean is surpassing us from a development standpoint. And we have to do more and be more transparent with the clubs.
But in terms of you, look, you spoke about the foreign players. If you become president, would you put a policy in place about foreign players?
Well, when you have 6 and 7 and some teams are full of them, it's too much. I mean, back in the day in England Premier League, I think they only allowed 3. Why can't we start there? If you want to allow foreign players to come in, you know, a lot of these teams too only bring foreign players when they are either close to winning the championship or being getting regulated, So you have to put a cutoff date and a cutoff amount of players that you're allowed to play at any time per team. That's how I would approach it.
So I'm just telling myself, you want to be president, Naya wants to be president, Bata was president. It's a Villa thing.
Right, and this is the thing, and that because it's not inclusive for what I've seen. They seem like they want to make it a Villa thing or a Pint thing or whatever they want to call the community, but it should not be. It should be an Antiguan thing. Whoever wants to run should throw their hat in the ring, and the club should have the right to vote for who they want to. I mean, I know Naya quite well, and let me go back to Naya a little bit. Naya and I play on George Ramos' thing, and I heard him say last week that he was the captain. He failed to mention that I was the captain too. It was him and I who received George Ramos' blessing, and George Ramos called me and Naya aside and says, "Okay, you guys are going to lead the team. Here, a few bucks. I think he gave us 50 US or 100 US or whatever the case may be." But I know Naya. I played 4 years with Naya. He was my roommate at Leon. And to be honest, Naya was quite a good defender. A good defender. Out of all the defenders that I played with at Wesleyan, Naya was the best defender of all of them, and that's including Sobi. He was most skillful. He's tough. He's fast, and he actually can play. He knows how to control the ball and play with the ball. Where some of the other defenders, they're clumsy and they just kick the ball out and so on and so on. Naya was a more refined player, and one of my better defenders in university.
And tell me something, would you start at like a proper structured youth program throughout the islands, like zone it and stuff like that?
Throughout the islands, throughout each club, you have to have a youth program. But having a youth program without proper leadership, it's a disaster. You have to have somebody who's going to provide that leadership on a continuous basis. So you have to develop those leaders to lead the young youths in them. You can't just say, okay, we have a youth program and it's faulted, because then it's just deteriorate. So you have to, it's sustainability we're looking for as well. You can't just say, hey, let's put this in place and then leave it. Who's going to continue run it? And I know people have the other work to do to make a living, but we have to find a way that we can compensate these leaders so they can put 100% into the youth program.
Well, I want to ask a question, because I like where you're going, to be honest with you, but seemingly you will need additional coaches to deal with the youths and so on, because the senior coach may be overwhelmed with work.
Mm-hmm.
So you can put that kind of program in place to train the coaches.
Absolutely.
You need it. I like the youth program business, but you have to get them to learn early control and pass and that sort of thing from an early age.
Mm-hmm. Listen, the thing about a program like what I'm talking about, you have to have a good structure. One person can't do it. And too often, it's about an I thing. Let's go back to Villa. When you talk about Villa Academy, who do you talk about? Oh, Toby. Who else is helping Toby? You never hear Toby come and says, X, Y, and Z is helping me. So you can't sustain that. Where is Villa program now? Where is Villa Academy now? Why is Villa getting foreign players when we have such a good program over there that could be bringing our local players to that program to play in the premier teams? Because they know development. To your point, Tad, you have to have enough coaches that are developed well enough to sustain that youth program. And that's where we need to start. We can't just say we need a better foundation. Well, what are you going to do about it? Here's what I would do. I would get coaches trained, find a way to compensate them through sponsorship, and so they can sustain our program throughout the whole year. Football can't be just from December to March or November to March. Football should be all year round. Even if you're not having any league, you should continue throughout the year. So who want to play football are continuing to get in the proper training throughout the whole year.
But then you have to think about facilities. Cause remember, cricket season started in January, February.
So here's the thing. Antigua is a big place. You walk around, you see all kind of green spot anywhere. Football can be coached anywhere. I mean, we have winter season up here. We find gym to practice in throughout the winter. We don't stop. So you have to find a way. You find a green spot and you teach the guy how to pass. You teach the guy how to control the ball. You teach the guy how to kick the ball. I mean, I come down before they take our Judge Bay field and make it a prison or whatever they have on there now. And I used to see the youth in there, and they are just playing the pickup game. And all they know how to do is to try and dribble it through everybody. And that's the kind of mentality they come up with. Nobody's looking to work as a team and to pass the ball and to know how to receive the ball and move into the proper position. And that's what we need to start teaching them so we can have good caliber player at the highest level once they develop properly. We're not having that. So I hear you that the facility is not there because there's cricket season, but there are green spaces all over the place. But
you have Angela, you have Villa Park, you got PM. But you don't have Judge Bay anymore anyway. You don't have Judge Bay like before. But
nope.
you have 4-2, they only play football over there in that area. So you have some, even West in Israel is in the neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying.
So
you have spaces, man. You see, what does these kids do when soccer season is over? They become idle. Some of them may play cricket, yes, but all the true football players become idle. You have programs that during the off season, you're training them the proper skill. You're training them to develop as a team player. You're working cohesively. You have camps. You have academy that they come to throughout the day. A lot of these kids doesn't work anywhere. Parents would love to drop them off at 9 o'clock in the morning and come back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and pick them up. If you have a program like that throughout the summer, because they are school, and we don't have that structure, and we need to develop that structure. That's what I'm saying. You start with the coaches, find ways to develop them, find ways to compensate them so they can give the full attention to those kind of programs during the off season.
Yeah, I agree with you. You definitely need the facilities, and like you say, those children these days, the young ones, they get involved in all kind of things they shouldn't get involved in because they're too much spare time, And if you can sell the program like you ought to, because there's so many scholarships you can get from football if you just pay attention to your schoolwork, that sort of thing, And even so now, cricket now, plenty of money cricket now, So there's no need for those children to get so idle and they're doing something. And that turns me off a little bit with them because I don't know why they get involved with all this violence and so these days, But before I forget, did you watch some of the school league? We streamed the school league last week. Some finals or whatever, 2 games a day for Wednesday, Thursday. Did you see any?
I saw a couple of the games that I watched, but the thing is, Taddy, the caliber there is different too.
In terms of what?
In terms of the level of play, where we should be at school league. Some of those school players are playing premier football.
Yeah.
And the caliber, for me, you should be dominating. You at that level when you're playing premier football, you should be dominating the school league. Those individuals should be, and I don't see that. You see the occasional good skills and the good goals and the good save, etc. But it's not consistent across the board. Like I mentioned earlier, and people can say what they want about this, but when I play school league, I find my goalkeeper skill was far more advanced than the school league required. So I didn't play goal. I play out. And to Mervin's point, this is why I developed my skill as a player. So I was so more far advanced than the other goalkeeper in regards of my talent to overall footballer. And when I play out, I dominate school league. When I'm telling you I score 14 goals in a game, it's not a joke. I was playing Premier football at the time for West Ham. So that's how it should be, you know. But it come back to leadership. You're saying those guys, those children are idle, but they're idle because they have no direction. Sure. There is no structure in place to say, hey, Angeline, you're in charge of this group. Hey, Paul, you're in charge of this group. Hey, Taddy, you're in charge of this group. There is nobody doing anything. Once in a while, you may see somebody have a camp for a week, but then it's ends. What do those children do after that? So you need a structure to keep them in the program throughout that summertime so they can continue to stay active and continue to develop their game.
So we are hoping when if and when you become the president, then we'll see all those things come to fruition that we speak about.
Absolutely, and I already have connection up here that I'll bring people down to help develop our coaches, and I just want to know where the funds has been. What have we been using the funds to do over all these years, right? You know, so me with whatever people contribute, I will put a sponsorship team together to go and find sponsorship, whether it's internationally, domestically. We need funds in to fund these programs that I'm talking about. But at least you could start at a lower level and continue that program to build on. Too often we start something and we stop. To Taddy's point earlier, we build a facility, it's a training facility, but we stop there. Why don't we have a facility where international teams want to come and play in Antigua? That's what we do. We stop and we pat ourselves on the back. Oh, look what we did. Look what we did. And we plaster everybody pictures on the wall over there like that's the end. That's not the end. That's just a building block. And continue to build so we can continue to develop our program.
And my final question for you today, in terms of Premier football, in this period, compared to when you used to play, compared to now, what you see that need to change?
The dedication and the commitment to development. I mean, you look at all the past players; those guys have skill, man. You know, I mean, Mervin talked about Daryl Greenway. Mervin himself, they are so they're skillful. We have players with those skills, but don't have the team chemistry. They don't know how to pass properly. You know, they make a 12-foot pass and it's flying in the air when they should be putting it on the ground. So just to let them understand the game overall, that's changed, man. We had the dedication and the commitment and the love of the game back then than what we see now. We have too many other distractions. And again, it's lack of leadership not to be able to keep these youth focused and to keep our program moving forward.
Well, okay, based on what Earl said earlier, you know, early. I hope when you come down, you spend more time on the football and the golf course.
Hey, I'm contributing to Antigua tourism too, because when I come down there for golf, I am bringing players down there to play against the Cedar Valley Golf members.
Oh, okay.
So it's a tournament. So, and I kill two birds with one stone. I come and I will go over to Fort Road and I will do some day camps over there and I help out. So, yeah, I'll be more than happy to spend more time with them, Taddy.
So tell me something. So when you come, how you come? You rub shoulders with Ellie and Richie and Vivian, someone?
Oh yeah, I mean I have pictures with those guys. We play against them. I could send you a bunch of picture and video when they're beating up on my Canadian teams that I bring down there.
Yeah, a lot of the cricket guys, they evolve into golf, you know what I mean? The bouncing and all these guys. So
yeah, Richie, LD, and even Zoral over there.
Yeah.
Playing, Viv, you know, the whole gang over there playing, and you know, I bring a lot of stuff down for Cedar Valley, you know, and you know, and I will say about soccer, LD, the man loves to jest. to the, he have to match, man. So if he see a good hat out there, he wants it. If he, I think that intimidate the other players by dressing like a golfer.
So he the best just golfer.
Well, he and Kuma.
Kuma too.
Okay. Well, it was really nice having you on the show today, man. Really have some fun time with you, man.
All right. It was great being here. Thank you for the opportunity to share what I want to do, and hopefully everything that I said, we can bring it forward and bring it to fruition.
Yeah.
Well, we can keep on checking you. We're going to keep on checking you because we want to know how far you get with this presidency idea. Well,
I want to too, but we'll see how it goes. It's just that it saddened me on a serious note that we are not moving forward. And when I look at St. Kitts and Nevis, they're advancing so much, and Antigua should be doing better.
All right. Well, once again, thanks for taking the invitation, and I wish you all the best, man. And we talk soon.
All right. Merry Christmas.
All right. Same to you, man. Merry Christmas.
Take care.
Yeah, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, man.
Help me to help her walk again. Come out and support us at the Pickers Playing Field on the 29th of December 2024 from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. in aid for Gwendolyn Joseph Gums, who requires a prosthetic leg. This is a family fun day